November 11th is celebrated as Veterans Day in honor of the men and women who laid their lives on the line in war to uphold freedom for our nation. Veterans Day was initially called Armistice Day, which marked the end of World War I on November 11, 1918. The war ended on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. We can learn a lot from the remarkable sacrifice that these wonderful men and women left for us to follow. As a mark of respect, we can observe a moment of silence at 11 a.m. on November 11th every year. Together we can reflect on the fact that the lives we are living now are from the sacrifices of many men and women that live and have lived before us.
Very nice, Juliet. And next from Mrs. Mann's classroom, Aaron Ross.
Dear veterans, I think the sacrifice you made is one of the greatest one anyone can make. It is because of you that we are able to live freely and do what we want every day. You deserve a special place in American history for the price you paid. I believe you are one of the most brave people on earth. I admit I do not think I would be brave enough to be in the armed forces. You are some of the most important people to America. Thank you so much, Aaron Ross and all of Jefferson Avenue School.
Very nice, Aaron. And next up from Miss Masco's class, Peyton Sunjeans and Isabella Evenhock.
Dear veterans, thank you for serving in the military to protect our country. I want you to know that because of you and many more veterans that this country is a much better place. I know that some of you fought hard and strong to protect something or someone you love, or you could have been helping out the men and women who served in our country.
But no matter if you're in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, or even the Nurse to the Wounded Warriors, you all have a big or small part in protecting what we fought for many years ago, our freedom, rights, and to rule our own country. I know and still do know some veterans like my Grandpa Pete, who served in Korea, and my great-grandpa, who served in World War II. My Uncle Chuck, who served in the Vietnam War, and my uncle, who served on a nuclear submarine.
I also have my Uncle John, who served in the Navy, and my Uncle Ray, who also served in the Navy. We know war is not nice
and not fun, but you do it for a good cause. That's why today we celebrate and remember all the veterans who served with strong and brave hearts to protect the one thing that we think is most important, our country.
Thank you for all you did serving our country. Sincerely, Isabel
and Peyton.
Very nice. Isabel, I apologize for the mispronunciation of your last name. It's Ebenhock. I apologize for that. And last up from Mr. Ryan's class, we have Grace Bernard.
I did an interview on my grandpa. He served in the Army from 1942 to 1945. He wasn't married, but he still was sad to leave his family, even though he had his friends and his two brothers. But he thought it was the right thing to do, and it was his duty to serve his country. He felt great when he got home because he got home safely, and he was proud to serve his country. He started at the age of 18, and he stopped at 21. With his two brothers. After Pearl Harbor, he wanted to start serving in the Army, but he was too young to serve. And he was very proud to be serving our country. Dear Robert, dear Grandpa, I never got to meet you, but I still love you. At first I didn't know much about you, but I really wanted to learn, so now I know more about you. Like you worked in the Army from 1942 to 1945, and you weren't married, but you had to serve with your two brothers and friends because you had a duty to serve your country. I also know that you felt great when you came back because you came home safe. You were also very proud to know that you served your country strong. Next, I know that you served with your two brothers through the ages of 18. in 20 months. Lastly, I know that you first wanted to serve when you saw Pearl Harbor. I know you liked serving because you would have left the Army soon. I will always have you in my heart. Love, Grace.
She made a poster to go with that. Very nice job. All right. Well, you can tell it's Year of the Pen because we've had such great pieces of writing to represent our veterans here, everything from the letters to the interviews. And what's really neat about it is you friends in kindergarten up here, someday that might be you up here interviewing or speaking about a veteran that you know. So you can start thinking about that now. And speaking of those children, in just a moment we're going to have our first grade friends help us out. But I want to give another thank you to Mrs. Holloway, who helped our students make these amazing flags that you see on the walls around here. So let's give her a nice big round of applause. And in terms of the writing, our kindergartners and first graders also have spent some time writing, and they have written many little wonderful messages that we're going to hand out to our veterans. So right now, could I have the following student winners from the first grade? They are good citizens in their classrooms, and they are going to come up and represent them. So Will Finnegan Cahill, come on up. Nathan Munson, Evan Preston, Lucas Milne, Katie Sonner, and Chloe Criley. Please come on up. So while our first grade citizen representatives are passing those out, they're passing out some special treats to thank our veterans with that the faculty and staff have baked with a little message that says, J.A. thanks our veterans. We also had, on your way in, you may have noticed, thanks to our wonderful PTA, a giant display on the glass window that says, J.A. thanks veterans. If you haven't seen it yet, on your way out today, you may take a look at that. So thank you to all of our first grade helpers. We'll get those all passed out here. And next, after we get that finished, Mr. Green is going to come up and give us our closing patriotic sing-along. So we've got one of our first grade helpers coming back for the honor guard. And, we have plenty, so possibly after the ceremony, we'll leave the baskets here, veterans, and you can feel free to come over and, take a few of those cards. Take them home, share them with others but we really want to, spread the joy on this celebration of you. So we'll leave those extra baskets here, as well as the extra coffee and treats for when the ceremony's over. Feel free to help yourself. And Mr. Green? Well, why don't you come on up and we'll go on to the sing-along.
Just as with the other things that we've done this morning, a little more serious sing-along that we usually do. And those of you who may not be familiar with the song, I'm going to go over the part that I'd like you to sing along with me. It goes like this. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains, majesty above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. At this time, I'd like to ask everybody who's in the center to make way for our honor guard. I'm going to ask the commander of the guard to please bring the honor guard back up to the front of the auditorium. But I'm asking everybody in the center to please make way for them. You've got to move aside. Thank you, Mrs. Welly, for helping. And I'd like everybody to please stand. Probably should have done that before we did the center thing. I need everybody to be absolutely quiet and respectful. And let's wait. And now we will have the playing of taps. Please remain standing quietly.